And welcome back to Hannity. It's now official. Senator Ted Cruz swept all 34 delegates in Colorado following a complex delegate selection procedure. In response, while Donald Trump is slamming the GOP nominating process, here's what he said earlier tonight.
The system's rigged. And I'll tell you what, when you look at Colorado, and people could say, oh, well, that's the way the game's played. Look, they should have had an election. They didn't have an election. That system is set up so that the crooked politicians can make sure they get somebody in that's not, part of what we're doing. This is a movement, folks. I'm self-funding my campaign. They hate it. And I'll tell you what, the RNC, the Republican National Committee, they should be ashamed of themselves for allowing this kind of crap to happen.
Now, Senator Cruz, he responded to Trump's complaints. Watch this.
Donald has been yelling and screaming. A lot of whining. I'm sure some cursing. And some late-night fevered tweeting. All the characteristics I would note we would want of a commander-in-chief.
Now, yesterday, RNC Chairman Reince Priebus attempted to ease tensions by tweeting, quote, "The rules were set last year, nothing mysterious, nothing new. The rules have not changed. The rules are the same, nothing different." Here now is the man that is tasked with securing Trump delegates. Donald Trump's convention manager, Paul Manafort, is with us. Did you really want to jump into this mess? Congratulations.
It may look like a mess, but I like the position we're in.
Yeah. You were there in '76.
I was. At
the contested convention. That was Ronald Reagan challenging a sitting president. It was a pretty amazing story, right?
It was quite a story, and there's a lot of deja vu going on.
You feel it? All right. Let's talk about Colorado. Issue of contention. Is it rigged? Is it corrupt?
The point that Donald Trump was making is that the process in Colorado was being abused. And, it's not that the rules themselves were unknown. It's the way the rules were applied, the way and the number of instances where ballots were not allowed to be counted because the numbers were wrong, and they were all wrong, and only people that related to.
Is that the 378, not 379?
Things, yeah. The thing is, if it was only in Colorado, then you'd say it was just unorganized. But we're seeing the same mistakes in Colorado, in Missouri, and in a couple of Louisiana. And so the mistakes are not really mistakes. It's a pattern.
A pattern of what? A
pattern of, at the local levels, abusing the amateurness of the enthusiasm of Republicans who want to participate in the process and are being cut out by backroom tactics that is the hallmark of the Cruz campaign. I mean, he got caught with Carson in Iowa. He got caught with Rubio in Florida. And he's going to get caught in all these places.
So you think Ted Cruz is doing this? Do you have any evidence that he is?
We are compiling evidence. We're going to be filing several credentials challenges. And, whether we win on the challenges or not, the point is what's happening is if you go to these meetings and you're not a Cruz supporter, you don't want to be a Republican when you leave because they're so abused.
I would like this. I'm a big believer states should be able to do what they choose. But it is a national party. So I think there ought to be some basics. If you want to have a caucus, have a caucus. You want to have a primary, have a primary. If you want to have proportional distribution, have proportional distribution. If you want winner takes all, winner takes all. But the idea that the people don't vote and participate troubles me. This has nothing to do with Colorado. Just in general, I think the people have to participate, and that their will must be reflected in the end. Is that?
And that's what Donald Trump is talking about. He's talked about the rigged economy, he's talked about the rigged banking system, and now he's talking about the rigged political system. And what he's saying is that through his candidacy, he's going to try and bring clarity to all of this, get rid of the unfairness of it. And in politics, his position is not much different than yours. We're playing by the rules, and we're winning by the rules. And, one of the distortions that the Cruz campaign is trying to put out there is that he's winning delegates. No, he's not winning delegates. He's winning bodies in some of these places with some of these tactics.
He's also, apparently, according to reports, he's working on Trump delegates for a second ballot, that they would switch to him. Is he successful in that?
That's what I mean. He's not turning any Trump delegates who are delegates. What he's trying to do is put Cruz people in place of elected, of Trump delegates spots that have been mandated by the elections. So the reality is Colorado was a unique situation. But in places like Louisiana, we're going to have the Trump vote cast as the Trump vote. Some of that vote is going to be actually people who support Donald Trump. It should all be, but it's not going to be. Some of it are going to be people who support Cruz. They're going to have to vote for Trump. Now, mind you, this is a round world, and there's going to be some places where, you know, we're going to have the same kind of a thing. I'll call attention to Nevada in about.
What about 50-some-odd delegates from Pennsylvania unbound?
Those are fair game for everybody, and everybody's going to be working on them. But the point, I guess, that I want to stress is the whole premise of the Cruz campaign of a second ballot misses the point. There's not going to be a second ballot.
Right now, Donald Trump would need 61% of delegates to win the nomination. If it's needed in terms of remaining bound delegates, it's 66%. For Ted Cruz, it's 97% of bound delegates remaining, not unbound. For Kasich, it's 150%. Right now, it's 755 to 545, 210, but you do have New York coming up. I would assume you expect most of the delegates in New York.
Not only New York, but the whole Northeast. I mean, we're out of Cruz land. Cruz is not even going to be finishing second for the next couple of weeks. He's going to be distant thirds in a lot of places.
So, in other words, you think Trump wins New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland?
I think we're doing very well in all those places. All the polls show us leading, and we're just starting to put our campaigns together.
It seems like the Cruz campaign is spending a lot of time, energy, focus in districts in California, especially Los Angeles, outside the Los Angeles County. Kasich seems to be targeting the more northern part of the state, San Francisco, et cetera. Is it going to come down to June 7th?
Well, June 7th is going to put us over, but we're not going to have to win overwhelmingly on June 7th. We're going to have.
You really?
I think we're going to
walk me through your math then.
We're going to have a ground game in California where we're going to be focusing on the congressional districts as well. We announced our state chairman today. We've been putting people on the ground. California is going to be a battleground.
So you think you can get to 1237 even before June 7th?
No, I think we'll need June 7th. But I think before June 7th, it's going to be apparent that Donald Reagan,
is that what you're about to say?
There's a lot of similarity to the 1980 race with Reagan and Trump. And a lot of the criticisms of Reagan in 1980 are the same ones being...
Okay, last question. Walk me through your math.
Well, I'm not going to walk you through the math.
You don't want to walk me through the math?
I'm not going to do that yet.
Oh.
But I'm going to...
The people want to hear it.
Well, just keep watching, because it's going to become very apparent. April is going to be a very bad month for Ted Cruz. I mean, he'll probably finish third in delegates in April compared to...
By the end of April, what do you think he'll be at?
We'll be on our way.
You almost sound like a politician. But anyway, Paul, congratulations on your position. We appreciate you being on the program. We're going to be with Trump tomorrow for the hour. We had Kasich Monday. We have Cruz on Friday. So I don't know if you're in Pittsburgh tomorrow.
No, he's just finishing up a rally with 25,000 people, I think.
A lot of people.
Yeah.